Welcome back to the Mind Matter Lifestyle. I'm Mikey Weiss, and in today's video, I'm going to discuss with you guys an area that interferes with people's fat loss so frequently that I got a couple emails from my online coaching clients this week, and I had to do a video on this topic. And the area that I am talking about or referring to is different artificial sweeteners, different no-calorie products, and different trace calories that sneak into someone's diet either intentionally or in many cases completely unknowingly. So I'm just going to get right into the video because I think there's a lot of value for you guys to take away, especially if you're either currently working on fat loss or if you plan to in the future. So as a coach, one of my jobs is to really go through my clients day to day and point out things that they don't know are happening. There's a bit of detective work that goes on there because I know the cues and I know what to look for, and I also know tendencies to look for when it comes to things like dieting, fat loss. And this took some time for me to get really good at because by this point I've encountered almost every scenario that you can possibly encounter. So in order to learn how to pinpoint these things, you have to learn from experience. And trust me, there are no better teachers than actually going through and experiencing these things yourself. So artificial sweeteners, no-calorie products, powders, amino acids, things like this, these are going to have more of an impact on fat loss for people who have either been losing weight for a long period of time or who are attempting to get very lean. Because if you have a lot of weight to lose, you don't really have to worry about these areas as much because your body is going to let the weight go easier, and just by adjusting some things with your nutrition or your training or your cardio, those other areas are going to take care of the majority of your weight loss. However, this information is still going to come in handy to get to that point when your body isn't letting go of the weight so easily. But for the purpose of this video, this is really going to come in handy for those of you who are really getting down to the nitty-gritty with your weight loss. So whenever I'm working with a client and for some reason their weight just won't budge, because these aren't people that are cheating on their diet, these aren't people that are, not being honest with me. They're doing everything that I'm saying. When I make a calorie or macro change, they're following those macros, they're getting their sleep, they're training, they're doing everything that they're supposed to be doing, yet their weight still won't budge. So a lot of times I will have to actually go in and do some dissecting, find out what they're taking in, what are they eating, what are they drinking, what are they supplementing with, what is the holdup? Because you have to ask quality questions, you have to know what to look for, you have to know what supplements to ask about, you have to know what diet products to ask about, and you really have to know what these things do in order to find the issue, because otherwise they'll just say, yeah, I'm following my diet, yeah, I'm doing my cardio, what's going on? But once you start getting to 1,300 calories, 1,400 calories, things aren't moving, and the person's still not, stage ready or anything like that, okay, there's something going on here that neither of us are aware of. So once you start asking the questions, okay, I want to take a look at all of your powders, all of your supplement powders. I want to take a look at all of your condiments. I want to take a look at, are you chewing gum? Are you drinking diet sodas? Are you drinking energy drinks? Because as you diet, you start getting hungry and you start using some products and you're just so mindful of calories and wanting to conserve your calories for satiety purposes that you start using some different products that you maybe wouldn't normally use. And keep in mind, there is no such thing as no calories. Yes, you can go and a lot of these products will list no calories, but that's just because the FDA allows them to, because they're just so little of calories. They still have calories to them. Not only that, things like BCAAs, EEAs. You know, I'm not against EEAs, essential amino acids, but here's the thing, your body has to convert these things to glucose, it has to use insulin, and it's using these as an energy source. So if you're constantly feeding your body powders, pre-workout powders, essential amino acids, well, your body's gonna use that as a source. You know, I mean, how many times have you seen someone just slamming BCAAs or EEAs while they're doing cardio or while they're training? I mean, many times people aren't tracking that stuff and people aren't really monitoring it or weighing it out on a food scale. Their main objective is to lose fat at that time, but they're constantly fueling their body. So your body's never really in a true deficit or in a big enough deficit to reach that kind of fat loss. And yeah, that might not seem like a big deal, but if you're getting down in weight and you're getting down in perceived calories, well, this becomes a big deal because, you know, you can't cut your calories and cut your calories and cut your calories. There's a point where it becomes very, very, very difficult. So by being aware of all of these different areas where calories are unknowingly coming in, this is going to allow people to eat more amounts of food, actual food, do less cardio, and above all, lose the body fat. So when I look at things like energy drinks, diet sodas, cooking spray, if you look at a cooking spray, you know, a serving of a cooking spray, a no-calorie cooking spray, it's 1/4 second of a spray. Just I mean, that's impossible, and it's not gonna coat your pan. So like when I'm in prep and I use a cooking spray like that, I count that as 1 single gram of fat because there are still calories in that product. When I get a diet soda or a diet pop, I count that as a carb because there's no such thing as no calories. So you need to be accounting for these things. Walden's Farms and no calorie products, I hate that stuff. I would so much rather see a person using real food or real condiments and just adjusting the serving size to be smaller and accounting for it in their calories, because not only is the fat loss going to be more predictable, but they're going to feel different because those artificial sweeteners and those no-calorie products, people really abuse them and people use a lot of them, but they also cause a lot of digestion issues. I find that those products seriously mess with people's guts, their stomachs. It just makes them feel very, very irregular, and that itself can interfere with fat loss. So I always recommend to my clients, ditch the Walden's Farms, ditch the no-calorie products, let's pull the powders, let's start tracking the Splenda, the Diet Cokes. I don't restrict them from drinking these things, but they need to use moderation, and they also need to track these things correctly, which most people aren't doing. And the reason I'm making this video is because I had this happen to 3 of my coaching clients this past week. So I was like, I need to make a video on this because this is just way too common, and people, like I said, people aren't aware that this is happening. They believe that they're doing everything correctly. So it's my job as a coach to find out, okay, why are things not adding up here? Why are things not making sense? And so for you coaches that are watching this, if you have clients, this is going to be great information for you to learn, because you'll also need to know what to look for when a lot of your clients are also experiencing these same things, because again, this is super common. So once this happens and I notice that, okay, this person is using pretty much all of these different things, the first thing I do is I identify the problem, and then I pull everything. I pull everything that can be pulled. So pull the amino acids, pull the no-calorie products, start tracking things like the sprays, the gum, all that stuff needs to be accounted for. And wouldn't you know it, in every single one of these cases, 2-pound drop, 1.5-pound drop, 3-pound drop. I mean, this just goes to show how much this stuff adds up. And And not only that, but now the fat loss is rolling. Now things are moving. Now things are predictable. Now there's a deficit again. So I wanted to make a video because I know this is frustrating. I know this is happening to somebody right now who's very confused. And even if you haven't encountered this problem, at some point, if you keep working on fat loss, and if you are especially interested in really taking your physique to that next level and getting very, very lean, at some point, this is information that you're going to need to know, and hopefully this can save you some of that frustration. So just remember, the leaner you get, the more weight you lose, the more aware you're going to have to be of things like no-calorie products. Moderation is important, but also tracking these things accordingly is extremely important, because the temptation to mask that hunger with no-calorie products, it just gets higher and higher the leaner you get. But in actuality, you have to feel that feeling. You have to get hungry, and you have to be in a calorie deficit to lose the fat that you want to lose. So the hunger isn't anything to fear. It's not anything that's dangerous. It's just one of those natural responses that you have to endure in order to get leaner. So things like Splenda, diet drinks, diet energy drinks, amino acids, glutamine, all of these things, cooking sprays, seasonings, all of these things need to be accounted for within your day, because there's just no such thing as a no-calorie product. And unless you want your body using these for energy, either get rid of them or track them correctly. And I can guarantee you your fat loss is going to be very, very predictable. You're also going to be able to keep your food higher and your cardio lower, which of course is a fantastic thing. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. If you found this information valuable, please hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. If you'd like me to coach you and you'd like to get my help personally, I do provide online coaching. My website is themindmatterlifestyle.com. If you have a question or a scenario you'd like me to cover, like in today's video, go ahead and shoot me an email. My email is listed in the description box, and I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Take care, and I will talk to you soon.